Hey, what's going on, everyone? It's your boy Freeze coming to you from the Deceptilab. And today, I just kind of want to recap some of the stuff that was talked about on the latest Space Ape stream. And particularly, I want to talk about the dispatch missions. Couple other topics I want to talk to before I get to that. But definitely want to go show you like a live demonstration of the dispatch missions and just kind of give you a little bit of a tutorial of what it's about. So give me a second to set up and I will be right back. Alright, so today I'm here to talk to you about dispatch missions, and honestly, man, there's a lot of stuff that's going to be coming to the game, a lot of new items coming to the game this week with the content push, and so I'll just go over the list real quick of the things, and not my focus here today is going to be on the dispatch missions, but if you remember my Discord server, one of the things you saw this week is that uh, I made like a channel on the server. It's just gonna have the Space Ape recap from their stream. So I'll look at the list of some of the things I wrote down there. That they said the 5-star batch, the newest one, is gonna have 5 bots. So a lot of speculation that it was gonna be 7. So it is gonna be 5 in that batch. One of them, which they expect to be a community vote. And then next week, like the reason why we're here, dispatch missions are coming, and also a third research slot is going to be coming. And I actually had a video about that earlier this week. If you hadn't seen it, I'll leave a link for that in the description section of this video. Elimination mode is going to be available Monday through Sunday, so that'll be like I imagine a brief period where there's going to be some where you got to reset, but it's going to be available every day. Battle Pass gifting is going to go live, so I'll tell you now, I hadn't figured out how that format is going to look like for me yet, but I do plan on doing some Cyber Pass giveaways. We'll just see. I gotta look at the Cyber Pass gifting and see how that works first. And then there's also going to be crystal gifting, so I want to see how that works too, so I can start some giveaways on the channel and see what the criteria is going to be for my giveaways. So we'll look forward to that at least within the next month. If it's not on this Cyber Pass, it'll be the next one. But the crystal gifting, after I see what that looks like, I probably can start that immediately. And then there's going to be a dialogue skip for any of the little stories that they have for the bots. There's going to be a dialogue skip for that. And they also announced the End of Saga bot, so we get Sea Phantom over here on the con side. So looks like they're starting their sea cons. But with all of that said, one of the things that I really want to look at this go around is going to be the dispatch mission. And there was a lot of questions that I've been getting for players about the dispatch mission so far. And so let's just go ahead and hash all that stuff out so you guys can see exactly what it is that is going to look like. Alright, so right now I am on the test server, and so I want to give you the disclaimer now is, so when we looked at the dispatch missions on the test server, one of the things that Fabian gave us is he made the missions really short, just so we could see the different missions and go through as play testers some of the different missions so we can get through all of them, because I can tell you right now, and let me pull up my notes, because he gave us some insight on how long the missions are actually going to be. So he says there's going to be, and let me pull it up on the screen for you so you can see it. So the dispatch mission is going to be right there in your scanner. And so when you go to your scanner, you can just click on dispatch missions and you'll see something that looks like this. So you're going to have dispatch missions for each faction. You know, my primary faction being Decepticon, the alt faction. You'll also have an Autobot section, which typically those quests for your alt faction the requirements are gonna be a little bit lower. Everybody, Space Ape is aware, like, hey man, most players don't actually use their alt faction bots that much, or put any, you're not putting spark into your alt faction bots. You're not, using your resources on them heavily. So they made those a little bit lower. This is just an example of what they started out with. Not necessarily exactly what it's going to look like in the end, but there are some things that have been explained to us, and some things that we've discussed in testing that I do know to be factual for when the live release comes. And so one of those things is that, so there's 4 of these things per faction that can be running at any one given time. Now, when you look at it, the bottom row, so like when we're looking at the bottom row of Oil Rig Assault mission and Offensive on Auto Base, so those are not going to be, the bottom row is not going to be unlocked at first. It's going to be, you're going to start off having 2 of these dispatch missions per faction, and you have to unlock that bottom row. So if each one of those should be around 1,000 cyber coins. So and that was one of those points that I was talking to some players, and they weren't really feeling that you're gonna have to use cyber coins for this, particularly from the free to play standpoint. Personally, I don't disagree with using cyber coins for it. I think that it's one of those things that a lot of free to play players, they already hoard their coins, but it is difficult to get coins because it's not as many opportunities to get coins through the current reward system. And so if those coins are spent already, that might be a problem for the free to plays. I will say that if you don't spend often on the game, this should wind up costing you, let's see, 1,000 cyber coins is about $5 American. So you wind up having to do that 4 times, so about $20. If you were willing to go spend just so you can get the dispatch missions running. But the other thing that Space Ape mentioned is that, so when you have these unlocked, so the first and the third dispatch mission per faction, those are going to be the shorter ones. So the ones on the left hand side, so it will be Oil Rig Assault, and well, both of those are Oil Rig Assault. In this case, when it goes on a live server, expect those to take anywhere from 8 to 32 hours, and it'll be a rotation. Sometimes it'll be 8 hours, sometimes it might be 12, who knows, but somewhere within that window, it'll be 8 to 32 hours for that mission, and then 24 hours to 4 days for the longer missions. So the second and the fourth slot will be the longer missions. So let's take a look at what this looks like. I'll go to the Oil Rig Assault first, or the top one. And so they'll give you a list of requirements. Actually, I'm going to go back because you can see those requirements right there. So it's saying the mission requirements in this particular case is you're going to have 1 warrior class, 1 air class, 1 gunner, 1 triple changer, and 1 medic to make this team. And it's going to have a squad power of 7,500 in this particular case. And don't know what the rewards are going to look like. The Space Ape is saying there will be Z Energon as a reward, and there will be XP as a reward. We don't necessarily know if it's going to be silver chips or what that third reward is going to be yet, but they put that in there as a placeholder because they know that it's going to be 3 sets of rewards. So when you go to select your bots, one of the key things is kind of similar to elimination mode. Once you use the bot for this particular mission, he's not going to be available in any other modes. Now, unlike elimination mode, once these bots are done with the mission, they'll return right back to your inventory, and they'll be usable again. This becomes important because one of the features that playtesters were really not enjoying as much is this auto select feature. So you get the auto select button, and you can put different bots, and it'll pick the bots for you. And you can see it's right there, right around the squad power that you need. So we needed 7,500. They got us 7,672. Now, if you use auto select, one thing you got to look at is to make sure that these are not bots that you want to use in your normal battles. So like for me, I got the 4-star reflector up there. Now I've actually, like, there was one point in time where that was the only healer I had that was more viable. Now I have, more 5 stars that I can use. And so looking at this team, I got a couple of 3 stars. Spinister is one of those guys that I'm currently trying to level a little bit passively. So it'll be really, really good for me to have him in this particular dispatch mission. So I'm going to go ahead and send it. And so, like I said, right now it's got an 8-minute countdown for me. That's just for playtesting purposes. It'll actually be somewhere between 8 to 32 hours. But one of the things that I can show you is that I can show you that, that it's got a skip down here. So in this particular case, it's 6 coins because it's so close. So I'll skip through that real quick. And you'll see that it'll start to give the XP to the bots. And it's actually not bad. It's, full, because a lot of these missions are kind of smaller teams. So the bots are getting a decent amount of XP. Now, one feature I do like about this is that the mission recharge, you even if you skip it to get the resources and get the prizes, it's not going to let you just start another mission right away. So that's good, because that'll keep people from just kind of just making like a cheap way to just go level bots and stuff without actually doing a lot of work. It's like, nah, it's not going to let you do that. It's going to make you wait until the next mission. Like, cause, we had like 8 minutes for that mission originally, and now you still have, like 6 minutes and 50 something seconds left. So that's a good feature for that. Let's see. So the bottom half is really closer to what it is. So like to what it's really gonna be look like. So that same mission, that oil rig assault down there, this time it's got a little bit less requirements, but it's a 12-hour mission. So I'll auto select again. And this time it's got another team that I'm comfortable with them being up there. I'll go ahead and hit the dispatch. And now you just gotta wait for 12 hours to get those bots back, and you'll get your prizes. Same thing on the Autobot side, or for your alt factions, there'll be a little bit less. Like a lot of times they have like the Finn Mountain Passage, and they'll have like 1 or 2 bots up there. And so in this case, really doesn't matter who I put it. They got a couple of 1-star Autobots in there that I auto selected for it. And yeah, I really like this feature. Now, I will tell you some of the criticisms that we had. Some of the criticism is, even within the playtester community, some of the criticism was that, well, this doesn't take any skill. And I feel like this is a good quality of life change. It's a good change to just be able to find ways to get Z Energon to passively build up some of your bots that you might not, because for me personally, I start taking all of my bots that I know that I'm going to use in war and my war alternates, and I put those guys on really, really small teams together so that they can build XP quickly during my events and during, just my regular farming throughout the week. And so some of these other guys, I might not build up for a very, very long time, and they might just sit there. So rather than them just sitting there doing nothing, I was like, hey man, let me give them a game mode that allows them to build and grow and give me more resources, give me constant opportunities at resources. So I really enjoy this mode, but a lot of people were saying, oh, this is just something else you have to grind through. You really don't have to grind through that, man. It's one of those things. It's just like you set it and forget it. So for me, I really like that, because every time we seem to get a new game mode, it's distracting from certain things. Like even with the Cyber Pass, it's become really, really distracting away from other stuff that you should be doing. Like you'll have PvP missions come up during the middle of an event. It's a distraction. This is just set it and forget it. So I really enjoy it. I think you guys will will like it as well. And I think that it's a good feature for the game as a whole. So, but this thing will be released soon. Let me know what you think about it. Let me know what you think about this. About the pass. Excuse me, about the dispatch missions. Once the content comes out on Thursday, and let me know what you think about just from based off of what you've seen so far. I know I'm going to talk about the dispatch missions a lot on my Discord server. I will leave my Discord server information in the description of this video if you want to join that conversation with us, if you're not already a part of our server. But other than that, I'll be out with some more videos coming up next week. Still want to run my series on underrated bots, so we'll be talking about that a little bit as well. But other than that, I'll just see you guys out there on the battlefield. Freezius out.